has a home to call somebody homeless. Because what does the homeless look like? I'll tell you. You. That's what they look like. You can be next. They look like me. Maybe because I am right on the street, but I am homeless. I have a place to stay. I came here to get my son back, man. It's trouble. And I think I've done my job. Yesterday my son told me he wanted to go to New York. Mom would pay for it. He hasn't talked to his mother in months. Maybe even over a year. And he told me he wanted to, basically wanted to go to rehab.
Alright.
With any luck, he'll go in. He'll probably do really well. I'm not going to doubt anything because my son's very headstrong. He's smart. He's very, very intelligent. I have to say he's one of the most genuinely intelligent persons in this town. He's very smart. He graduated from ITT. He knows how to take computers apart and put back together. He's out here. And I didn't want him to die. He was troubled. I came out here. I put myself on the street. Not a lot of people agree with what I do. They think I'm insane. You know what? When it comes to my child, I'm not insane. I'm real. I live reality, period. I don't filter anything. I don't have to. Because I live in reality. As long as you do that, you can tell the truth. You don't have to lie about anything, and it just comes right on out. And I live on, right now, I've been living on the elements of what's out here. I live on clothing that's on the ground. I pick it up. Anything that's really decent and good, that's not moldy and crappy, so bad that I can't wash it and make it look better. Or like, you know, a decent used piece of clothing that someone can use. And I either sell it or give it away. I don't collect underwear, just for the camera. I collect pretty much everything. I make quite a bit of money off it. I recycle like everybody else. I basically do, well, I make money any way I can. You know, if someone needs help, they offer a few bucks, I'm there if I can help. I help anybody I can. I've given all that I can because last month I gave so much. Well, I almost starved the last 2 days, but I still worked that out because reality says they make it for themselves. They choose, a lot of them, to do something that not a lot of people that are in houses and have successful lives and progress, you know, with other things in life other than just go backwards. And that's, of course, drugs. Drugs is the last things on my mind. I asked somebody, hey, what's the first thing you do when you get a $1,000 check? What's the first thing you think of? He didn't say anything, and I said, drugs? He goes, yeah. I told him that's the last thing I'd think of. Because before I thought of drugs, I'd think of hand soap, shampoo, things that you don't have out here. These guys complain, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I can't take a shower, I haven't had one in a month or a week or whatever. Well, that's ridiculous. And it's not responsible of them at all, other than to the drug that they are like respecting more than anything. And they need and not want. That's what they need to do. They need to start seeing the needs and wants. If they put the needs in front of their wants, if you need new socks, why don't you get socks, then buy drugs? If you need food, why don't you get food and then, you know, buy drugs? It's an after thing. But out here, people label you right away, straight out. You're homeless, you're dirty, you're nasty, and you're on drugs. Well, I'm one to say I'm not. I've got a job. I've been working for 35 years in this town as a painter. I make quite a bit of money. I've been pretty successful. I don't owe anybody. I don't have any bills. And if you starve in California, it's your own fault. There's more food in California than there is in any state in the United States. We grow more food in the valley with the best soil in the United States than any state. We supply probably 37% of the food in the United States. Fruits, things like that. We supply 80% of the world with nuts. Did you know that? Nuts, almonds, walnuts, all that. California has the best food. If you starve here, That's your fault. People are, oh, I'm starving, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not. You're on drugs and you didn't care to go get food. That's the thing. I've been here since 1972. I got here when I was in 4th grade. And the mall wasn't. And I told you, of course. I built a snowman with my brother. I got pictures of it. 75, I think it was. And it snowed once, 4 inches here in the rest. Since then, it hasn't snowed more than once. It never laid on the ground. I look at times that I've had hard. Sometimes I think, yeah, I may want to drink away my problems, but I drink for a long time. Since I've been out here, I've dropped almost 95% of my drinking. I almost don't drink at all. I've experienced drugs, but I don't do anything on a consistent basis. I smoke marijuana, but it's all legal now, and I've got everything legal for me, so I've got what I need. The people out here, it's like they want to be here. There's people that told me that they don't know whether they can get back to what they want anymore because they're so stuck in what they've done for so long, and I get it. I've been here for a few months now, and I'm 56. I found it easy to basically make $50 to $100 a day and make it no problem. I don't need a house. I can go get me a membership at a gym somewhere, take a shower every day, save about $30,000 this year. If I stayed out here, I'd save at least that much. And I could still live just as good as anybody else. I'd have a nice little bed someplace. I'd have me a Del Rio campground somewhere. All these guys don't have nothing. They don't have no tents. They don't have nothing, no shelters, no nothing. And they complain about that because, one, back to, there's an epidemic. And I don't think it's just the COVID-19. I think it's methamphetamine. That's the drug that is spread wildfire through this city faster than I've ever seen. And it's starting to look like San Francisco if anybody's ever been there. The Tenderloin is the nastiest, sickest place for anybody to ever go see and recognize as a town than you'll ever see. I mean, there's people dying right in front of cops letting them do drugs. They have places for them to go to use their needles, dispose of them, and get boxes more free. What's that? Why? Why are the police doing that? They say they can't stop it, but they can quarantine it. They can quarantine it, and they can probably get a handle on it. Why don't they? Don't know. So why have cops? If they're not going to be just for every law, why are they going to be just for just some laws and not the drugs? People that are killing themselves. People that are killing themselves are hurting their families, their friends. They don't understand that. Because they hurt, they take themselves out, and that's right. It's a cowardly way to go, but it's going to look like this. Drug is really the one thing I think in a bad choice. Not so much the drug, it's bad choices. Bad choices send you to the street, drugs take you over. If you get out here and get on drugs, that's your choice. Everybody has a choice in life. We all make mistakes. No matter what we do as an individual or a person, we're going to make mistakes no matter what. We just have to learn to live by it, learn by it, and know not to do it again if it's a bad choice. If it's a good choice, you know you can do it again. You can be successful with good choices. But choices around here, some people I don't even think they know they're making a choice. I think they think they're making one, but they're not. I ask them, well, hey, why aren't you back in society? Why aren't you back? You know, you're a beautiful girl. You know, if you keep doing this, you're going to just deteriorate. Your beauty will go away. You'll age. You'll look worse. Your teeth will fall out. You know, you'll get skinnier. You'll lose weight. And you'll die faster than you want to. Why wouldn't you want to have a better life? Why wouldn't you want to try to get out of this? What makes you think that this is just the last step for you? It's not. This is not the last step. A lot of people are afraid of church. Well, you know what? That's wrong. You don't have to be afraid of church. It's not going to burn down because you've done everything wrong and you go to church. It's not going to burn down. What they're going to do is they're going to help you. They're going to help you in ways you've never been helped before. And it'll work if you listen and you learn from what people teach you. Good advice. Never take advice from someone that isn't or isn't doing as well or as good as you. I'm not saying it's not good advice. I'm just saying, why would you take advice from someone that's not doing as good or better than you? Because if you do, you might end up like them. So, really, it all comes down to choices out here. And if you don't make a good choice, you got to think about it. You can't just go off and say yes or no right away. You have to think about it. And if you're going to learn something, hey everybody, this is me. Listen. You don't go to the classroom and start talking and listen and learn. The teacher says, shut up, I'm teaching. So if you don't listen, you don't learn. Bottom line. It's a rough road, I'll tell you what. Living on the streets, it is pretty rough. But you know what? It doesn't have to be as rough as everybody makes it. You know, this store here has this parking lot. You can see, maybe he'll, at the very end, show you the parking lot. It's pretty cleaned up. I've been cleaning it for a week. I don't know what happened. I tried to chase off a few guys. They were defecating in their pants. Okay, smelling, asking you to do them favors. You walk up to them and it smells so bad you can't stand it. They move on to one spot to another. They leave trash, garbage, junk everywhere. They don't care. And they make it bad for everybody else that like homeless or are homeless that are neat, clean up. There's a man that's been out front. He's been out there for about 15 to 20 years. He cleans up every single day. He gets up, picks up his dog, moves all his things, packs up his camping gear, sweeps everything up clean, and leaves. Comes back every day. Him, I never really got his story. My pastor told me to get stories. That's why I'm giving this one. Because quick to judge anybody. Assume that you want. Assumption is the mother of all you get it. Okay? You can use the word you want for that one. The assumption. Assumption is bad. Never assume anything, because if you do, you never know. It can be terrible in the end. And you can hurt people by assuming things. So remember that if you see somebody walking down the street, do this. Stop if you really care. If you care at all, if you have any little bit of respect, responsibility, and love and care in your heart, stop. Ask that man if he needs anything. If he does, help him if you can. If you can't, let him know, but then still ask him. Is it okay if you ask him a couple of personal questions? Ask him what got him there. My pastor did this. Picked up a man headed toward the mission here. He was hungry. It was about 5 o'clock at night. And he noticed he was running. He skipped right along. He said, hey, you need a ride? The guy says, yeah. He said, I didn't know him for feeds, but I let him in. Yeah, he had a noter a little, probably had a child for a few days or whatnot. He said, yeah, hey, you looked hungry, man. You headed to go get something to eat or up to the mission? He goes, yeah, I am, as a matter of fact. He said, I thought so, because I can tell by the way you're moving. He asked him a question. He says, hey, can I ask you before I let you off? How did you get to this way? And he says, well, I worked for the city of Modesto. And I started having problems a little bit with my wife. That eventually went, south. Me and my wife got separated, divorced. I had a job for 30 years. I was buying a home, kids, everything. Nice vehicles. Everything to live for. And he said, one thing at a time. Wife, and I got emotionally, where it started getting bad for me at my job. I lost my job. When I lost my job, of course there's no income. I lost my home. And I was short for it. The guy said he was short for paying the house off, which was a shame. He said when he lost his home, of course, he had to pack his goodies. He was gone, sell what he had, and he hit the street. And there's where his story was. My pastor told me that. So when I thought of the story and I thought of my son, everybody thinks that rehab's that we did, because my son, he had a problem for the first time in his life. He's 38. He had a problem and he turned to anything but what was right. Basically wasn't listening. Then he thought, okay, I'll just do drugs. And everybody told me, yo, you can't help him. You got to get him in rehab. That's the only thing that can help him. And I went to the one guy that I threw out 20 years ago, my friend. I'm very proud of this man. His name's Rick Taylor. He was like this. I threw him on the street. It's been 20 years. He paid me all the money he owed me back about 2 months ago, which was quite a bit. He stole some things from me. That's why I kicked him out of my house 20 years ago. Since then, he hasn't missed a day of work. He doesn't do drugs. He owns his own 2-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. He's successful. He's got a real nice truck. He's got a bank account, a retirement. And I went to him and I asked him, what do I do? And he told me I should just let him sit out there and make his own choice. Make that decision on his own. You can't make a person that wants to do drugs stop. They have to do it on their own. So, I thought, no. Before I let my son say I'm going to kill myself, I just want to die. And that's what he told me. I reached for my friend, Rick. And that's what he told me. Let him be. Let him go on his own. He has to do it by himself. And I thought to myself, for some reason or another, I just can't solidly believe everything about that, because I think it may be everybody but maybe a few people, such as my son. I came out here, I put myself on the streets to find out why. My son came to me and cried, yelled, screamed, argued, hated life, told me he was going to die, told me he wanted to die, tried to kill himself, which I didn't like because I wasn't around and I could have never stopped him. And if he even died, I wouldn't know what to do. So I put myself here to find out what it's like in the elements of the homeless people. You get treated like crap, and that's why he was mad. People don't recognize you, they downsize you, they ignore you, they walk past you, they don't talk to you, they won't help you, they won't do you a favor, and I'm not saying all of them, but most of these people do. There's two kinds of housing. There's the housed and there's the homeless. And I gotta be honest with you, I've never met more better people on the homeless side of the fence than I have my whole life. And I tell you, if I had a way to live right now, I'd want to be homeless. So that being said, to anybody that's in a house, if you could help somebody, I don't care what it is, help them. If you think you need to, if you think that person looks like they need help, go ask them if they need a little help. Anything would help. It might bring their spirits up, it might bring them back to where they really want to be, because I've worked on my son. These elements have helped me adjust to where he's at, why he thinks he's like he's at, he can't get out of it. And now my son might be going back to rehab. He did a long time ago, about 15 years. And it was only because he was young. I basically thought, just get out, because I kicked him out. He was 18, 19 years old. He was old enough already. And I said, maybe you got a problem with drugs. Maybe you ought to go to rehab. He ended up going, whether he needed it or not. He stayed there for a couple of years. I supported him the whole time. And since he's broke up with his girl and lost his kids is the most important thing. You don't give up on your kids, man. Ever. If you give up on your kid, why don't you give up on yourself? Because that's what you do. You don't have a child to give up on them. If you're going to give up on them, why don't you just have the baby and just toss him in the trash right there? That's giving up. Because when you have a kid, you got to go the whole road, regardless whether you like it or not, whether you love it or not. I love my son. I'd do anything for him. I told him I'd give my life to give his pain and everything a rest. I'd go to rehab with him. That's what he thinks I need or something. I'd go with him. I don't care whether I need it or not. I would do anything to make sure my son's protected and loved again, and he knows that there's more than just him in this world. He's not alone. The people out here don't have people like me to come out to them. So maybe you're the one that might have to. And that's my story.